and welcome to day 10, I think, of Kale's Travails. I am currently sitting on the ground so that you guys can have this beautiful view. Check this out. So obviously I'm still in the mountains. It turns out I'll just be in the mountains for the rest of my time, basically until Santiago, so good to know. Let's start with today, and then we can talk a bit about my plans, which I think are changing. So today I got up a little bit later than usual. I usually get up at 6:30 with the group, leave at 7:20. Today I didn't really get out of bed until closer to 7, and I didn't really hit the road until 7:40. And the first part of today, believe it or not, was downhill. Now, I know this is sacrilege, especially in Cali world, but I think I like going uphill first and downhill second, not the other way around. First of all, because going downhill still does take like a lot of effort, and starting downhill hurts your joints more, so there's effort in joints. And then once you've gotten to the bottom of all that, then you have to really turn on the gas to get your butt uphill. Not my fave. So today started with a downhill for, I don't know, let's say 2.5, 3 miles, and then uphill on and off for the rest. Except the very last mile to 1.5 miles, which was a pretty steep downhill, which I also very much don't like. Steep downhills just shouldn't exist. So left, hit the road. Some of these downhills were on really weird paths where clearly there were lots of horses. Today was a manure-filled day. Horse, cows, sheep. And after the initial downhill, when I started going back uphill, it had really changed. So I was used to country roads, which were either like a little bit gravelly or a lot of it gravelly, or, you know, grass over mud, or just mud or dirt, as it were, if it's not raining. But today it actually turned into like rock country, huge boulders and stones under everything. And so there were parts that felt more like a scramble. There were parts where you really had to watch your placement. So it was some tricky landscape, both up and down for that latter part. But it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I took a lot of pictures of landscapes because literally around every corner I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's pretty. I want to take a picture of that. So my camera roll is filled with things that look exactly the same. But in that moment, they felt like just the prettiest view in the world. It was also a very sweaty day. There were moments where there was water literally just like running into my eyes. It wasn't even that hot. I don't know. It was a slog. I gotta tell you, I already told my parents this. Today was just a slog. It wasn't even that far. It was between 8 and 9 miles. I actually don't know how far because my watch was on the fritz. First I forgot to turn it on, and then it turned itself off. Not the watch itself, but the app that tracks your movement turned itself off like 3 or 4 times. So I have no idea how far I actually went or how long it took. But I guess that's okay. Maybe that's another thing I can learn to let go of, is the exact tracking of my movements. So let's just say 8 to 9 miles. So today, given that it was shorter and it started with a downhill and ended with a downhill, you would have thought, hey, that's not so bad. Oh, but I was just like, couple hypotheses running around that. Could be what I eat or don't eat. It could be that I'm really sore today from yesterday's more challenging walk that felt pretty good, but it's catching up with me now. Could just be an every other day kind of thing. I have no idea. Because 3 days ago I felt great, 2 days ago not so much. Yesterday I felt great, today not so much. I don't know. So I arrived here in town pretty early because it was a shorter day. Nothing was open yet, so I stopped off at a bar, ate some food, met a bunch of other pilgrims there. So that group of pilgrims, what they're doing is there are 2 people in a car and there are 6, or I guess a van, I don't know, I didn't see the thing, 6 people walking. And the walkers do their day, and then the car picks them up and they go back to the previous day's place to sleep. And then they drop them back off here, and then they walk, and then they'll come back here to sleep, and then they'll drop them off there. It sounds super convoluted to me, but they all seem very happy. And then here in the albergue, I'm with the French duo again and a young Spanish couple. I think they're a couple. Maybe they're friends. I don't know. But, you know, probably mid-20s guy and girl. This albergue is lovely. It's brand new, it looks like. Very clean. Plenty of open space, which a lot of them don't have, right? Like a lot of them, it's a door, and then there's beds, and then there's bathrooms, and that's the whole thing. You know, here there's like a sitting area, there's a kitchen area, although that's closed off right now for COVID. It's a little bit more like the one in Zamora that I really liked. So I guess I'm finding a trend here of albergues with like gathering spaces and quiet spaces that I like. So I do like this albergue. Now, let's talk about what's next, because I think it's time to mix it up. So tomorrow is a long haul. tomorrow's a long haul. It's like 14, I think. Although honestly, at this point, the miles I actually walk and what it says in the book or the app or whatever never end up matching, so I have no flipping clue. But let's just assume it's 14 like it says. And the first 11 to 12 of that is uphill. So my blister's been getting sort of better. I won't go into details, but it's better, but not great. My Achilles has been better behaved, but mountain terrain is harder for it. My tendonitis is what's really been acting up, the posterior tibial tendonitis, which is the tendon that runs up your arches and up into your ankle. So that's what's been acting up. So between all of that, super long day, I was already tired today. Don't know if I'll be able to finish that. So I have a cab number for here and a cab number for not the next town, but the town after. So if I decide partway through the day, like, nope, we're not gonna murder ourselves here, then we're not gonna murder ourselves here. We'll catch a cab. And then the real question is, do I take that cab to Campo Becerros, which is the next stop, or do I take it to Lhasa, which is the stop after? So Campo Becerros to Lhasa is actually pretty short. It's probably like a 7 to 8 mile day. But the problem is, in Campo Becerros, the Caso Rural has really bad ratings, like really bad ratings. And I think last year they had or 2 years ago, they had a bed bug outbreak. I don't know. It just doesn't necessarily sound like where I want to stay the night. So, you know, maybe even if I do walk all the way there tomorrow, I'll just catch a cab from there to Lhasa. And then from Lhasa, I don't remember what's next, but I'm considering skipping around to Ourense. So Ourense is 100 kilometers out, more or less. I guess technically a little bit more, from Santiago. To get the Compostela, or your certificate of completion, you have to do 2 stamps a day for the last 100 kilometers. Have to. That's like the thing. Everything you do beyond that is extra. It's fun. It's your journey. And knowing that I've got some bad weather coming in, that I never really know what my appendages are going to be doing pain-wise, that this is also really mentally exhausting. Waking up every morning to go out again and know that it's going to be challenging and it's going to hurt and I'm going to be tired and thirsty and sweaty. It's definitely all wearing a lot. And so what I don't want to happen is to really push super hard now through this last 100 tough zone, and then find myself in that last 100 unable to finish due to injury, due to weather, due to time, due to whatever it might be. So we'll see. So we might skip around. We might hop from Lhasa straight to and say by taxi. The problem is there really aren't buses out here. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this in a way that's not super expensive. Or I don't know. I guess that's the bigger concern right now. But I mean, a bus is also better for the environment. So lots up there. You hear dogs? That's because I know you can't see them, but there's a herd of sheep right next to this house I'm pointing at. And there are some dogs hanging with the herd of sheep, and they're just all getting really excited this afternoon or evening, whatever it is. So yeah, so lots up in the air. Who knows what tomorrow's update will tell you. Maybe it'll say, I didn't walk at all. I just took a taxi straight from here to Lhasa. Or maybe I'll say, I walked 5 miles and then I said, everything hurts. I can do no more uphill. F this noise, and went to Campo Becerro, Lhasa, Ourense. Who knows? So more tomorrow. I'm going to go find some food. Also, it occurs to me that by the time you see this, it will be after I've figured out tomorrow's travails, because there's no Wi-Fi here today at all. Like 0. So another time where I'm going to have to delay the updates, but they'll still be coming. Thanks as ever for tuning in. Catch you next time. Why won't it turn off?